Hello, my YouTube family. It's getting up on Memorial Day weekend, so today I'm going to do a Boston butt. We're going to do some pulled pork with it. I'm going to pull out my pit barrel smoker, get it going, get it set up. I'm going to get this piece of meat out, get it seasoned up for you so you can see how I do that. If any trimming needs to be done, trim it up, and we'll go from there. So hang tight, hang on in there, and I'll bring you back to watch this video. Okay, people, I brought you back here. I'm gonna get ready to open up this daggone Boston butt here. See what it looks like. So far, she's looking like a pretty good piece of meat. Pretty good piece of meat. Oh yeah, nice looking little fat cap on there. A little shaved on this side, but that's fine. But look at her, she looks real good. We want to give a shout out to Humphrey's Meat Market here in Lewisburg. So really good deal on this Boston butt. So if you need your meat and other supplies for cooking, check out Humphrey's. They got some really good products out there. I'm going to get me a paper towel. And we're going to dry this off a little bit, pat it dry, see what things are looking like. Like I said, she's looking pretty good. She's looking pretty good. So I don't see much I need to do to this. Maybe this little piece right here. Trim it off. Other than that, I think she's good to go just like she is. So folks, I'll bring you back when I'm ready to season it up. Okay, people, we're back. As you can see, I'm going to get ready to season up this Boston butt. Today, I think I'm going to go with my Barbecue Guys Carolina blend. We're going to give that a try. I tasted it. It tastes pretty good. So we're going to put that on this Boston butt and see what kind of flavors we get. Here, I like to use a binder. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But today I'm going to use a little mustard as a binder. You don't need a lot to get this meat coated. You don't need a whole lot. So just put a thin layer on there, and it's just to impact this, how much the rub sticks to your meat when you go to season it. So some people say it imparts a little tenderness to the meat, maintains some of the juiciness, but one day we might have to do a video to test that out, definitely. But right now, today, it is specifically used for my binder. So I'm gonna get a little of this on here on this bottom side, then I'm gonna flip it over, do the same thing to the other side. So here we go. And you wanna get a little distance up off of your meat while you're doing your seasoning so you can see where you're going with it. And just take your time, get a good coating on there, make it look good. Because you want to develop that good bark and get some of that flavor, that seasoning into this meat while it cooks. So just take your time and get your good coating of that seasoning on there. And when I'm done getting the seasoning all over, I will bring you right back. Okay, folks, you see we got a nice coating of rub all over this Boston butt here. We're gonna let it sit here while we get our pit barrel set up and getting it ready. We're gonna let this sit here and let that rub just start to moisturize on top so it'll get real tacky, so it'll adhere to the meat real good. So people, once we get that pit barrel set up outside, we'll bring you back. All right, folks, well, as you can see, we're outside now. I got my pit barrel set up and I'm getting ready to light it. So folks, as you can see, how I like to start mine, I got a few charcoal briquettes in the bottom of my chimney starter. And what I'll do is I'll get those started, then I'll put them in my pit barrel basket to help get my other charcoal started. Today I'm gonna use lump on this cook. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna get ready to get a fire started. Ignition, and we have takeoff. So folks, when that starts to get hot and when I go to put it in my basket, I will bring you right back. All right, people, we back. Right now, what I'm gonna do is my charcoal, it done got hot. It's ready. I'm gonna put it in here, spread it out around here on top of my lump so I can get that ignited. Now you just see how I get that done. Sorry, I kicked the camera. Just getting used to this. But anyhow, once I get that into my pit barrel cooker and I get my meat on there, I'll bring you back and let you see how things are looking. Be right back. All right, people, as you can see, I got my Boston butt on that pit barrel cooker. She all set up. In there for my smoke today, I got a little apple wood and hickory wood. I got my Inkbird set up. As you can see, we're looking at 42 degrees on internal. I'm not really concerned about the temp of the cooker today because the pit barrel does its own thing. Run around 275, 300. But what I want to do is monitor the internal temperature of my butt so I can know when I need to make time to wrap, time to do whatever I need to do. So, people, now that she's cooking, let me put this lid on here, get her going, and I'll see it in a little while. All right, everyone, I'm back inside here, and while I'm waiting on my butt to get to where I want to take a look at it, figure I'd make my vinegar-based sauce. I'm making a Carolina-style vinegar-based sauce. So the ingredients that I use for that is I use some dark brown sugar, I use some kosher salt, I use some ketchup, red pepper flakes, black pepper, apple cider vinegar, some W sauce, some ground mustard. But also I like to put a little bit of the rub in that I'm using on the meat, which will carry through that flavor that we got on the bark into the meat. So once I get all this put together, all I do is put all those ingredients in the saucepan right here, simmer it for a few minutes to make sure the sugars and it dissolve and the salts dissolve and the sauce comes together. Not a hard boil, just a light simmer. And then let it cool, sit, so all those flavors can come together for when my pork is done. We can put it in the pork and mix it in and have a good, moist Carolina-style barbecue. So once I get it all in the pan and get it started, I will bring you right back. All right, people. I got all my ingredients in the pan, mixing it all up, got my low heat going. And all I'm going to do is just bring us up to a nice little simmer. After it comes together and everything dissolves, I'll give it a taste. Then after I give it a taste, I'll adjust it to whatever flavors that I think I'm missing that I want to bring out. But also remember, as this simmers and it cools off, those flavors are going to come together even more. So just give it a little time before you go adding extra stuff because the flavors are going to develop once this combination of ingredients simmers for a while, everything dissolves and cools and all comes together. So I'll give it a taste in a little bit and then I will bring you back. Okay, people, as you can see, we got a little simmer going on our sauce. While that's simmering, I thought I'd just give a shout out to my man, Bad Beast Barbecue. His barbecue channel is Bad Beast Barbecue, but he's got a engraving site on Etsy's, and that site is called Precious Engravings. He did this for me, and very good product. It's a bamboo cutting board. He can do any design you want. So check him out on YouTube at Bad Beast Barbecue, and you can check him out on Etsy's at Precious Engravings. So now back to my sauce. You see it's got a little bit of a rolling boil. I'm going to turn it off. Right now I'm going to give it a little stir. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a little tasty. See what we got going on so far on that flavor profile. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Vinegary, peppery. Got that little sweet hint to it. I might add a little bit more sugar to cut down on the heat a little bit. My wife, she don't like a lot of heat. Well, so I might just put a little bit more brown sugar in there just to see cut that heat back a little bit. I'll bring you back in the shop. All right, people, we're back outside at the pit barrel. It's been about an hour and a half since we put this on here, so we're gonna pop the lid and take a look at her and see what we got going on. Oh yeah, look at that beautiful smoke. But people, as you can see, we get nice color on that Boston butt. She's coming along. The ink bird sitting at about 114 degrees now. So she's coming along nicely. We're just gonna let it continue on. Everything looks pretty good. You know, this pork is pretty forgiving. The Boston butt is, so no need, I don't think, to spritz. It looks a little dry here, but I'm gonna let it go on for a little bit longer before I may try to spritz or do anything like that. So we're gonna just let it go and see what it do. I'll bring you back in a minute. All right, folks, it's been about another 30 minutes, and I thought I'd just take another look at this bad boy right here. And I decided to go ahead on and make me up a little mixture of apple cider vinegar, water, 50-50, with a little W sauce in there. So I'm gonna just give it a little spritz. Give a little spritz in those dry areas, just to keep things from getting too crusty right there. You can see how pretty and nice she looks. Oh yeah, get it soaked up just a little bit. We're developing that bark like we want. We up to now about 130 degrees. I get it up to about 160, 165. I see how it looks. Then we might see about giving it a wrap. All right, folks. Until later on, I'll bring you back. All right, people. We are back. Now this bad boy has gotten up to about 160 degrees. As you can see, she's got a nice looking bark on her, looking good. So what I'm about to do now is give it a wrap. I'm gonna wrap it up, get it back on here, and let it go until she reaches about an internal of about 200, 205. And so just hold tight while I get ready to get her off of here and get her in my fold. All right, people. I got her over here where I'm gonna get ready to wrap her up. Now today I'm not gonna do nothing special when I'm wrapping it. All I'm gonna do is spritz it just a little bit more. I'm probably gonna turn it fat side down when I wrap it. So I'm gonna just turn it over on that bottom side that's been toward that heat. I'm gonna spritz that side. We're gonna see what she looks like. Oh yeah, looks perfectly fine, perfectly fine. No burn, just a pretty bark. We're gonna spritz it up a little bit. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. Then once I get it wrapped up, I'm gonna get it put back on. And then we'll just let it ride until she reaches about 201 to 205 degrees. I'll bring you back. All right, folks, you can see I got her wrapped up, got her back on there. You can see them flames kicking up. So I'm gonna get ready to get this top back on here. It took it about 3.5 hours to get up to that temperature. I'm not gonna put the probe back in there. I'll just check it with my handheld Inkbird, just to see how it's going. So I'll bring you back when I check a temp in a couple hours. All right, people, I'm back once again. It's been about an hour since we wrapped it, so I'm gonna uncover it here and see about getting me a little internal temp on it. I really didn't want to punch a hole in my foil, so I left it where I can get in there. She got a little bubbling going. Oh, well, yeah, she's at about 176 now. So she's got a ways to go. So I'm gonna get it covered back up. Get the top back on here and let her keep rocking and rolling. So folks, about another hour and a half, I'll come back and give you another look. See ya. All right, people, we're back once again. We're gonna give us a temp check. It's been about another hour since we were out here earlier, so we're gonna give it a temp check to see where we're sitting. Oh yeah, it's looking good in there, people. It's looking good. So right now, that's 202 right there. Oh yeah, we're there, probing like butter. Oh yeah. So now we're gonna take this off. I'm gonna put it in a pan, leave it wrapped, and let it rest for about 2 hours before I try to pull it. It needs to cool off. So we'll be doing that right here, right now. See about getting this in this pan. Ah, yeah. Like I said, we'll take it inside, sit it on the counter in that pan, and then we'll let it rest for about 2 hours before we try to pull it. Well, people, I'm back. As you can see, the meat is already pulled and the bone is out, and look at how clean that bone came out. I thought I hit the record button when I was doing the pull, but I guess I forgot to hit it. Welcome to YouTube, man. Welcome to YouTube. But as you can see, I got my meat pulled. I got it here in a bowl with the sauce on it. Take a look at that. Tell me what you think. The flavor on it is delicious. It's tasty. It's tender. And like I said, I knew it was tender. When you see that bone come out like that, you know it was cooked well. So people, next time, hopefully I won't have any technical difficulties and you can see me pull that bone out of that piece of meat. But there's a process from start to end. It took about 5.5 hours to cook this 9-pound pork butt. The pit barrel cooker cooks pretty fast because of how it's enclosed and how it works. So you can cook a 9-pound pork shoulder in a pit barrel cooker in 5.5 hours, start to finish. So people, thank you for watching. Please do me a favor and hit that like and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, keep on cooking.